Before we start, I like to give a who shout out to all my Patreon members. All credit goes out to them as it's their support that is helping me create these videos. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment to FM Scout's YouTube page. Peace and enjoy the video. Also for this video, I did use Pro's transfer update, so please, if you want to use the update, use this one. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to FM Scout's YouTube channel. It is RDF, and today we have an interesting recreation to recreate. It's from Jorge Jesus. He was previously manager at Benfica, probably his most noticeable time. Then he went off to Sporting CP. Then he found himself in Saudi Arabia managing Al Hilal. Then he went off to Brazil to manage Flamengo, where he was hugely successful, just like his time at Benfica. And now, guess where he's back? Yes, it's at Benfica again. And he's been making some super signings recently, and he's also rumoured to make even more that will be turning Benfica into some super team. Super team. But as you can see, I've managed to recreate some of his success, winning the Liga in Portugal, also winning the Portuguese Cup, and I managed Flamengo, managing to win the league over there and the Copa Libertadores. So hugely successful. That is kind of like their Champions League, the equivalent over there in South America. Flamengo haven't won it in so many years. I think the last time they won it is when Zico played for them, and yes, RDF managed to win it for Flamengo, just like Jorge Jesus. For those who are not familiar with the Jorge Jesus system, I can explain it just a little bit, as myself, I am not the most knowledgeable on this system. Over the past few days, I have been doing some really intense research and watching some matches, because this tactic was largely requested within the FM Scout community, and I felt I had to deliver. So in order for me to deliver to the best of my abilities, I had to do some extensive research, and this is what I come up with. I noticed that in games he likes to switch between two systems. It's more of a 4-2-3-1, but with a holding midfielder that likes to come deep, dropping between the back three for possession, and another very similar system, but which is the 4-4-2, removing the attacking midfielder and putting him up front. For me, when watching this, the main focus of this tactic is to get these four people involved in the game and making them as dangerous as possible as they can be. From the deeper areas, you would notice that three of these central players will build up a lot, allowing the two wide people to get further forward. And the main link and creator in this team will be the Carrillo, or the central midfielder. He will be the link between the midfield and the attack. He will be the main creator in midfield, and then once the ball gets to the final third, we will have the four dangerous attacking players, two inside wingers or forwards who like to play very narrow, and then there's an attacking midfielder playing just behind the striker. Or in the 4-4-2, you will have one striker coming deeper and connecting the play. Whilst in possession, Jorge Jesus likes to have possession, but not for too long. He doesn't just hold possession, he likes to have possession with intent when moving the ball forward. And his team play fairly narrow, and the only two players that give them natural width are the two wide fullbacks. I have some heat maps on the screen that will be showing from whoscored.com. I advise people to go to that website. But you will see that I tried to recreate or emulate the shape that he has, with the holding midfielder playing just in front of the defence, with the central midfielder roaming around the midfield, and the front four all very narrow, playing close to each other for some nice interchanging play and some nice overlapping. When in the final third, Jorge Jesus likes his players to have some expression, some creative freedom. He likes his explosive players to dribble with the ball more direct towards the goal, and he likes his players overall to have a little bit more expression. In transitional play, when off the ball, he likes to counter press, but not too much that his players are disorganized and out of position. His players don't wander off too far from their position to go and close down the opposition, but when they are close by, they will cut off passing lanes and they will close down with some intent. Once the ball is won, they like to counter with bodies getting forward, and when they do counter, they can counter to some deadly effect with some outrageous pace. When watching Jorge Jesus' team, I find that he has a very good balance between risk taking and safe football. He doesn't like gaps to appear within his team. As you can see how I've set up my line of engagement with my defense line. It's a higher line defense line, but standard line of engagement. This is to squeeze the team a little bit and not let any gaps appear within the team. So without further ado, without delaying anymore, we are going to talk about the FM20 tactic that I have recreated for Jorge Jesus. So here is the tactic, here is the first shape as the 4-2-3-1. I do have the 4-4-2 here, but we'll be talking about the 4-2-3-1 first in detail because the team instructions are literally the exact same. It's just one player position changed for the 4-4-2. So when we are in possession, our attacking width is narrow. This is a bit to get our players, especially our front four, to play a little bit more closer to each other. So this can help with some nice interchanging play. You will notice that the two wide players will have bags of space, as we are hoping that when we are playing narrow, we will drag the opponent's play narrow too. When it comes to approach play, when it comes for the better teams, when it comes to the teams that you're expecting to win and dominate leagues, often enough you would notice that play out of defense is a go-to instruction. This just helps you build your play a little bit better rather than always having to go a little bit more direct. When it comes to passing directness and the tempo, I have gone with a slightly shorter passing and the slightly lower tempo. Like I explained before, Jesus likes to have possession of the ball, and considering we've gone with the attacking mentality, I felt that I had to notch down the passing directness just to keep possession of the ball a little bit better. Also with the slower tempo, we are not really building slow. You will notice we still have very quick football, nice interchanging players because of their roles, but in general when we're building up, we will want to be taking our time, not rushing things too much. Again, that way we can lose possession a lot. In the final third, we will be running at defense, trying to use our attacking players' directness to break down the opposition. They should have good flair and good ability on the ball, just like Jesus' front men do have. So we have gone with the run at defense to try and get more from our attacking players in the dribbling sense. When it comes to the creative freedom, we have given our players the more freedom to express themselves. Again, something that Jorge Jesus likes to have from his attacking players, especially the front four. They are the key players, they are the match winners. In transition, when the ball has been lost and when the ball has been won, we will be using the countering options. When we lose the ball, we want the ball back as soon as possible, and when we have lost possession, we want to get players in more advanced areas breaking away, giving us the ability to counter-attack some teams. When the goalkeeper's in the possession, I want him to slow down the pace a little bit. This should help us get our players in better positions when we are distributing it. So for example, when I'm playing from the back, I want my goalkeeper just to slow the pace down just a little bit, giving my defensive midfielder the time to be able to come back deep to collect the ball, and also my two wide players to get further forward to anticipate a pass. When we have out of possession, I have gone with a higher defense line, but with the standard line of engagement. When you are looking at the players' positioning, you will see here that the players are still positioned fairly high enough. The line of engagement, we will still be pressing when they are playing from the back, but we won't be asking our players to leave their defensive positions way too soon. We want them holding their positions just to give us a little bit more stability when we are pressing, not to leave any gaps. If we do have a much higher line of engagement, you will see that my left winger is now much more closer to their 6-yard box, and this leaves a much bigger gap between my left side winger and my left back. So I will be notching this down a little bit to squeeze the play a little. Our defense width is on standard and our pressing intensity is extremely urgent. Extremely urgent is something we see with Flamengo when you are watching. One thing that Jorge Jesus managed to get in Brazil, which is very difficult considering the climate over there, is the very high intense football that is very hard to pin down in Brazil. Congratulations to Jesus on managing to achieve that. Very good work there. So now I will be explaining the player roles. In goal, we just have a goalkeeper, just a bog standard goalkeeper in defense. No special instructions or roles needed here. On the left back, we've got the fullback on attack. He will be tackling hard, crossing more often when he gets the chances to do so, and getting further forward to help with the overload on the left hand side, and also just to help with play within the midfield. On the right hand side, I have gone with the complete wing back on attack. The reason why I went with the complete wing back on attack on the right hand side is because you will notice we have no attacking support on the right hand side. So from my wing back, I want him to be a creator and someone that likes to penetrate the play all at the same time. And with the complete wing back, I feel that that is exactly what you get. Compared to on the left hand side, he has the attack support needed on his flank, so he doesn't need to be very expressive. For the two centre backs, I have gone with the two central defenders. The left hand side, I want him to be staying wider, and with the right centre back, he would just be with no instructions. Jesus' central defenders tend to be very good on the ball. You would think they are ball playing defenders, but just like in my last video when I explained, sometimes when you're using ball playing defenders, you are giving them that extra creative freedom, and sometimes that could result in them taking too many risky passes. Just in front of them, we have the deep line playmaker initiating the play from the deeper areas, especially in front of the two centre backs. He has the option of staying wider, again operating sometimes in this half space. I then know that I have my deep line playmaker who is staying wider in those half spaces, who may be in the position to stop the counter attack. He also has closed down more and tackle harder in the central midfield, trying to win the ball back as soon as possible. In central midfield, we have the Carrilero. He also has closed down more and tackle harder for the exact same reasons as the deep line playmaker. With the Carrilero, he actually will be a creative spark in your midfield. He will be link and play, playing some nice key passes into the more advanced areas of the pitch. On the left hand side of attack, we have the first inside forward. He has the options to shoot less, sit narrower, and close down more. There are more attacking players, being a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more direct within the final third areas of the pitch. On the right hand side, we have the exact same instructions and role, apart from roam from position. I have added that on the right hand side simply just because when the complete wing back attack is going further forward, Pedrinho or whoever's on the right hand side now has the license just to roam from his position to find spaces where he can be effective on that side. Just behind the striker, we have the attacking midfielder on attack. His main duty or job will be making those forward runs, those penetrating runs in behind the striker, making a natural overlap. He has the instructions of take more risks when he is on the ball, trying to open up or unlock the opposition's defense as quick as possible. Shoot less often, and he moves into channels, trying to disrupt the opponent's defense line, trying to drag players out of positions, allowing our two wide men to come in and take advantage of the space created. And up front, finally, we have the deep line forward who will be shooting less and roaming from his position, trying to be effective in some areas. The deep line forward, you will notice he will be the first line of attack, but he will also be your first line of the press. When the opponents have the ball, he will be the first one to press, and he usually dictates how your team presses. In the 4-4-2, we have the exact same of everything apart from the left hand side of the attack. We now have the advanced forward who will be asked to dribble more and shoot less often. But now it's time to see some results for Benfica and how we got along. And as you can see in the Liga, we played 34 games, won 29, drawn 3 of those. We lost only 2 games. We scored 83 goals, only conceding 13, so a very solid defense and managing to get 90 points on the board. When it comes to average possession, we were 5th. Just behind Gil Vicente, Braga, Sporting and Flamengo. Goals, we scored 83. Cross completions, only 22%, 6th best in the league. We got the 2nd best cross completed. The most goals scored from corners, only 1 more than Braga. When it comes to goals from direct free kicks, we scored 3. And indirect free kicks, we're behind Sporting Lisbon with 11. Pass completion, we're 3rd with 89%. Pass completions are very good on the ball. Passes completed, we made the 6th most completed passes in the league. When it comes to chances created, we came 2nd with 97. A lot of our chances were also long shots. When it comes to goals scored, Pizzi with 17 goals, Carlos Vinicius with 11, alongside Gabriel, our central midfielder, on 11 goals. When it comes to 6, Alex Grimaldo with 15 assists, and Rafa also in that list with 12 assists. When it comes to key passes, Julian Vigo and Gabriel making those key passes in central midfield. So when it comes to recreating and getting certain things right, I feel I got that right, because like I said earlier, it's the central midfielders that should be playing the most key passes, trying to get the ball from the deeper areas, transitioning into the attacking areas. You will need some nice key passes being played. When it comes to chances created, Grimaldo is there with 18, so is Andre Almeida, our right back, Rafa and Pizzi also completing that list. And now just looking at some stats within the team, you will notice that Pizzi scored the most goals for Benfica, scoring 24 of those goals. Carlos Vinicius scoring 17, Gabriel, our central midfielder, getting 12 goals, Rafa getting 11. And when it comes to the assist, Grimaldo and Rafa on 6 each, and then there's a nice spread out throughout the whole team when it comes to assists. And average rated player, Vigo was the highest, then Grimaldo, Ferro, Gabriel, Ruben Diaz, Florentino, Luis, Pizzi, Almeida, all being key players. Just going back, because people might want to know how we did in the Champions League. We didn't do so great. Well, I thought we were doing great. We managed to smash Liverpool 3-0 in the first round of the knockout, but it felt like it was too good to be true, and Football Manager proved me right. We just got absolutely hammered away at Anfield 4-0. So maybe if Grimaldo never got sent off, we could have been in this game in the Champions League still, but it did not happen. After that loss though, you see that we went on a very, very good run, only conceding 1 goal towards the end of that defeat of Liverpool. That seemed to really, really spare us on at the beginning. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being patient. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. In the comment section, you can leave your recommendations of which tactic you would like to see recreated next. This has been RDF. It's been a pleasure doing this for you. It has been a pleasure creating this tactic. I will see you soon. Please stay safe out there. Peace.